Trieste, 1814. War is over, and a keen spirit of enterprise permeates the city. Giuseppe Lazzaro Morpurgo has a dream. An insurance provider with financial resources vast enough to cover all industries and cross all borders. 1831 sees the foundation of Assicurazioni Generali Austro-Italiche, otherwise known as Le Generali. And so, to the backdrop of a brave new world poised for change, Generali begins its early expansion through Italy and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In 1848, the empire is blighted by revolutions, and the inevitable tangles of business and politics take their toll. The company drops the Austro-Italica from the name and becomes simply Assicurazioni Generali. And it adopts the lion as its symbol, representing victory and security throughout Italy. As the dust of revolution begins to settle and the economy once again begins to grow, Generali turns its attention to a sector on the rise, agriculture, and begins to acquire landholdings such as Ca' Corniani. But the company also has its eye on an even more ambitious project, the Suez Canal. Connecting the Mediterranean Sea with the Indian Ocean, Generali company director Pasquale Revoltella would be the man to turn this ambitious idea into reality, just in time for the inauguration of a brand new nation. The Suez Canal is completed just as Garibaldi and Victor Emmanuel II add the final jewel in the crown of a reunified Italy, the city of Rome. Generali becomes the first insurance company in the new Italy, whose shareholders are 80% Italian, which starts paying its dividends in gold to the value of 20 francs. Not bad, considering it is still technically a foreign company. Generali looks to the future. 1882 sees the foundation of Erste Allgemein in Vienna, and later, in 1897, Generala in Romania. This is the birth of the Generali Group. The intuitive Marco Besso begins acquiring property with prestigious office buildings in Trieste and then Milan. This is all made possible thanks in part to the overwhelming success of Anonima Grandine and Anonima Infortuni, respectively the hail and accident insurance divisions based in Milan. Generali builds new properties for its regional offices: Turin, Rome, Belgrade, Budapest, Constantinople, Cairo, Lviv, Ljubljana, Paris, Tunis, Vienna, and Zagreb. Meanwhile in Prague, a young Franz Kafka is briefly employed as an office clerk. Generali bursts into the new century in fine form. 31 million crowns in premium income for the damages branch, 39 million for life insurance. Guarantee funds total 293 million crowns. The year is 1912 and war is imminent. Business is tough enough without the complications of being on both sides. Generali is still an Austro-Hungarian company, but in 1916 its certificate of Italian nationality is finally issued, and the Venice branch is able to operate throughout Italy, while the Vienna branch becomes the center for business in the rest of Europe. The end of the war leaves a new-look Europe, and the old empire is now several new nations with new currencies, new laws, and new problems. Generali adapts, with new regional offices established in Warsaw, Prague, Budapest, and Vienna. A few years later, Assicurazioni Generali celebrates its 100th birthday with guarantee funds, totaling almost £1.5 billion. Company share capital 60 million. Property and agricultural investments 300 million. And dividends always duly paid. The group begins to invest heavily in electronic computers, machines built by Herman Hollerith, the founder of IBM. But a dark chapter is once again just around the corner. The end of World War II spells nationalization or confiscation of assets for many branches of the Generali Group. Rising up once again from the ashes of war, the Generali Group expands into the Americas. By the 1950s, Generali is again a worldwide force, operating in 60 countries across 5 continents. Generali Group plays a leading role in Italy's economic recovery, with investments, innovations in road safety, and social welfare among many undertakings. 1954, Trieste is part of Italy once more and becomes joint host of the company's 125th birthday celebration. In the decade that follows, the country and Generali go from strength to strength, hand in hand. National income and production soar, as does premium income, helped along by the introduction of mandatory car insurance and high-risk policies for a booming industry. The 1970s bring a turning point for the company. Assicurazioni is dropped from the name and the rebranded Generali adopts a new lion logo. But it's not just the aesthetics that change. The changes are deep-rooted, and the overhaul is rewarded with the Oscar di Bilancio Prize for transparency and communication with shareholders. The final decades of the 20th century bring swift and numerous changes in the world. Computers revolutionized the office, the US lead economic recovery, and in Eastern Europe the fall of the Berlin Wall paves the return of Generali, beginning with a new branch in Hungary. The 1990s see the foundation of Banca Generali and Genertel, and the acquisitions of INA in Italy, AMB in Germany, Migdal in Israel, and Caja in Argentina. Expansion even reaches space, with Generali creating a policy for the first Italian astronaut, Franco Malerba, in 1992. With the rate of globalization creating an unpredictable age, the start of the 21st century sees Generali implementing a strategic plan for the first time in its history, for the 3-year period of 2003-2005, with all targets successfully achieved. But the unexpected financial crash of 2007 shows that not even Generali is untouchable. So in 2012, CEO Mario Greco creates the Group Management Committee, charged with identifying the group's priorities and bringing about closer operational cohesion. With the committee reaching its targets a year earlier, Investor Day 2015 brings the announcement of a new strategy that will ensure Generali's leadership in insurance retail. In 2016, the board of directors appointed as Group CEO Philippe Donnet, country manager of Italy since July 2013, and the man who led the process of Generali Italia integration.